Hey, this is Joe from Cell Phone Geek. Today, we're going to be talking about the smartphones. Here, let me zoom out a little bit. Smartphones for the summer of 2012 is the hottest handheld smartphones. As you see, it says smartphones of summer for the 2012 hottest handhelds. Alright, of course, there's no shortage of the great cell phones available this summer season. Whether you're an iOS fan, which is Apple, for the iPhone. If you're an Android lover, like the Samsung, Samsung, I just forget what it is, Samsung Galaxy 3 or so, or the LG Optimus. Then you get the Windows Phone loyalists, which are the ones with the Windows Phone 7 or one of the older Windows mobile devices, like the Palm Pilot. Then you've got, or you're just looking to give another platform a try. So you got one, you may want to switch to another one and try it out. And of course you've got endless options, but there's 12 smartphones spotlighted here that are the cream of the crop. You can't go wrong with a single one of them. They're all rated very high, and they're great phones. So we're going to go ahead and go to the first phone, which is the Samsung Galaxy S, the third generation, number 3 from AT&T. It's got the front and back facing camera. It's got a dual-core processor with 1.5 gigahertz. It's got Ice Cream Sandwich on it, which is Android 4.0. And it shares tons of features. You've probably seen the commercials online where if you and your friends have the same phone, somebody takes a picture, you can send it to all their phones in one click. So you don't have to pass your phone around for them to all view the one picture that you have on your phone. Which what I understand is basically just sends like a mass text message to everyone or to a group of people. You can really do that on any phone, but I guess with this new Galaxy phone, they've made it a lot easier. So you just select the people you want and you hit send and send it to all of them. Always, you can do this pretty much on an Android phone. Once you click on a picture that you have on your phone that you want to send to your friends, just add it into a text message as our multimedia message, and then in the to subject you just type in all the people so you can have more than one if you'd like, and hit send, and it should send it to all of them. I believe that's pretty much how this works on the new Samsung Galaxy 3. I could be wrong, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that's how it works. You can drop a comment down below if you have the phone and you've tried it out, and tell me how it works and stuff. Let us all know. Thank you. And it says, why is it hot? It's because Samsung owns the Android market. The Galaxy S3 is the latest and greatest with a large, high-resolution, super Elmo LED display, speedy 1.5 gigahertz dual-core processor, Ice Cream Sandwich 4.0, tons of unique social sharing features, which is like that picture thing I was just telling you about. Maybe the smartphone to own in summer 2012. The prices vary depending on where you're getting it. U.S. Carriers, like U.S. wireless carriers and U.S. cellular prices vary, but most of the carriers offer 16 gig device for $200 with a new 2-year contract. The T-Mobile charges $280 with a new contract, and that's a 32 gig model is also available in selected areas. So T-Mobile charges you a little bit more for the same phone, but they got that different coverage depending on the area. T-Mobile may work better in your area. And the next phone we're going to talk about is the Nokia Lumia 900, which came out pretty recent as well. They're saying, why is it hot? It's top of the line LTE Windows Phone. It's got Mango on it, which is 7.5 for the operating system. It's the LTE, which means it's a 4G phone. It runs on AT&T's LTE network. The device is built like a tank, but it's still slim and light. It has 16 gig of built-in storage, a 4.3-inch clear black Elmo LED display, and an 8 megapixel camera with a Carl Zeiss lens, I believe is how you pronounce it. And it's got Windows Phone 8 is expected soon to be installed on it. So if you're in the market for a Windows smartphone, you may want to wait for that new OS. So if you purchase this phone now, you'll be able to upgrade to the new OS, if I read that correctly. And the U.S. Availability and pricing, the Lumina 900 is at AT&T exclusive in the U.S. It's available for $50 or $49.99 with a new 2-year contract. So you sign up as a new 2-year contract, and you can get this phone for only $50, well plus tax. And that's pretty good for that phone. That phone didn't really say what the speed of it was. I don't remember if it's a dual core. I believe it is a dual core, but I don't know the exact gigahertz to this phone. But I heard it's supposed to be pretty fast. Alright, so let's go on to the next phone, which is the HTC One X. And this was supposed to be pretty good also. It's supposed to be pretty fast. It's got the dual core 1.5 gigahertz processor, ice cream sandwich, 16 gig built in, 8 megapixel on the back. So it's pretty much the same speed as the Samsung Galaxy S3. It says why it's hot. HTC's One X smartphone is fast and powerful. It runs at AT&T's LTE network, and it's packed with a 1.5 gigahertz dual-core processor. It runs on the Android 4.1 ice cream sandwich, and it has a 4.7-inch Super LCD 2 display of 720p, which is a high-def screen. It's got 16 gig of RAM or 16 gig of built-in storage and an 8 megapixel digital camera. The device also has universal Beats audio technology for high-quality sound when used with comparable headphones. So it's got that Beats, the brand, Beats audio. So you hook up with those Beats audio, it's supposed to sound really good. The audio, play some jamming music through there, and it's exclusively just for AT&T in the U.S. and it's $199.99, so it's $200 for a new 2-year contract. Very similar to the Galaxy S3. Really, the only difference is that the Beats Audio has their input, and the screen is actually 720p high def. And something about it says LED 2 display, so I don't know why that says 2 display, but I guess we'll find out later on. If you know what that means, drop a comment and inform me. Still learning about some of these new phones. They keep coming out. It's hard to keep up with the phones right now. It seems like a new one comes up every week. Alright, so let's go to the next phone. We get the Motorola Droid Razr Max. Seems like Motorola keeps pushing out all these different phones. First they had the Motorola Droid, which had the Android operating system, and they had a Motorola Razr, which was a flip phone. And somehow they combined the Droid and Razr into one phone. One good thing is that the battery seems to last way longer than any of the other Android phones that I've seen out there. Just with the operating system that comes with it by default without ruining your Android phone. And let's see, this phone, it's all about the battery life. If you're having no problem making it through a full day on one charge, the device runs on Verizon's LTE network and has Android 4.0 ice cream sandwich installed. It packs a dual-core 1.2 processor and a 4.3-inch Super Almo LED display. It has a mini HDMI output, so you can mirror your device to a compatible TV or monitor, which is nice. There's actually an adapter you can order online, and I think it's under $20 that you can go from a mini HDMI output to HDMI, or even I've seen it where you can go from mini HDMI to VGA, so you can hook it up to your computer screen or to a projector. I have one of those cables actually I ordered on Amazon, and it was just under $20. Let's see, U.S. availability and prices. Droid Razr Max is a Verizon Wireless exclusive in the U.S. It's available for $299.99, $300, and with a new 2-year contract. A lot of times, yeah, if you walk in the store, they're gonna charge you this full price for it. But I've noticed if you just go online and Google the phone you're looking for and look for new deal or new sign-up deals, you can find websites where you can actually get the phone for almost nothing. I mean, a lot of times you get it for free or for getting a lot less, so you don't have to pay $300. You can pay less, get the same phone, and you're still signed with a 2-year contract. The only difference is when you order online, they expect you to sign up as a new contract with a new contract as a new customer. So that's the way they give you the phone for a high discount, so you get it for a lot less. You have to wait a few days for them to ship it to your house. But hey, if you get the phone for free instead of paying $300, it's well worth it, especially if you don't need it instantly. And also you can pay extra shipping, and you can have it shipped to your house a lot quicker if you need if you need to be that. Alright, so let's go to the next phone. We have the Apple iPhone 4S. It says, why is it hot? Apple's iPhone 4S is one of the most popular smartphones on the planet for a reason. The iOS software is great looking and functional, and iOS apps are plentiful. The iPhone's HD Retina display is glorious. The voice-activated personal assistant, Siri, can make your life easier. Unfortunately, the iPhone doesn't run on LTE networks, but that's expected to change this fall, so you may want to hold off on an iPurchase until that new device is revealed. Well, the new iPhone, or this iPhone, seems pretty good. Like they said, it's not 4G. One of my friends has the iPhone 4S, and Siri doesn't work all that great. If you look around, do some research, ask your friends that may have the iPhone, or you may have your iPhone yourself. Siri works sometimes, but it's not the greatest. When you go to some commands, it's not sure what you're talking about, so you have to repeat yourself. Other times, it does stuff, and then you're like, why did it do it that way? So it's really weird. I'd try to play with it yourself and see what you think. But for me, I don't really care for the Siri feature. And I've seen there's a new comparison about Siri on the iPhone and the new on Android 4.1, which is after Ice Cream Sandwich. They have a new, I guess you'd call it talking person, or talking, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, like they have on the iPhone. Personal assistant is what the iPhone calls it. But it's way quicker than the Siri is on the iPhone. So it reacts quicker, it understands you better, so it knows better what you're talking about. There's more commands you could do with it. So in the future, I think a lot of people are going to be switching from the iPhone, but for now, a lot of people like the iPhone just because it's Apple, and it's a pretty solid phone. The design of the phone itself looks pretty cool, but when you turn it on, the home screen and all your screens, I don't know, they seem outdated now. They used to be like future realistic, but now when you got the new Windows Mobile Phone 7 and 7.5 and then the new 8 that's coming out, they're just, it's way smoother looking and looks neater. I don't know, I think the new Windows Phone is a lot better designed now. The layout's a lot better, it's easier to maneuver around, and it's just more personal. So like you can link all your people together, you can set up groups and stuff. You can't do that on the iPhone. The iPhone kind of is falling behind in the new iOS 6. They're saying it's going to be much better. Hopefully they make some changes though before they release it. So I guess we'll see what happens with the new iPhone. Alright, so we'll go to, and it's not that cheap either. Like if you go to purchase it from different carriers, you can go Sprint, Verizon, AT&T, and then there's also one C Spire wireless. It costs $200 or $199 for the 16 gig. 32 gig is $299, which is $300, and the 64 gig, which is $399, so it's $400. They're charging a lot for the phone, and I don't know. It's not very realistic. It's not really a future phone anymore like it used to be, where it was like from the future. It's more like now it's like the past phones, like what people are getting bored with it. A lot of people that have the iPhone, they're like, yeah, I have an iPhone. They're not excited about it anymore like they used to be, because all their other friends pull out their new Android phones or their Windows phone, and it's just way slicker on those. Alright, so let's go to the next phone. That's enough with that phone. We got the Motorola Atrix HD. So, it says why is it hot? It runs on the AT&T's LTE network, and it has a 4.5-inch HD color boost display. It's got 1.5 gigahertz dual-core processor, 8 gig digital camera. It runs on the Android 4.0 Ice Cream Sandwich, and the device's surface is coated with Kevlar for added durability. So looks like you don't really need to add a case, but I'd still add a case just in case you drop it, because it looks like the Kevlar is only on the back side. The front side is still mostly screen. And it's exclusively for AT&T in the US, and it's $99.99, so it's $100 for new 2-year contract. Looks pretty neat, the phone itself. It's got front-facing camera, back-facing camera. And it's about the same speed as all these other ones, 1.5 dual core. And let's go to the next one, which is the HTC Titan 2nd generation, which is a Windows Phone 7, and it's got the Mango, which is 7.5. It says, why is it hot? It says the high-end Windows Phone device with Mango 7.5, and it packs a 16 megapixel digital camera, which is higher than any of the Android phones and way higher than the iPhone is currently. And the Titan has a 4.7-inch WVGA display, so it's a 480 by 800 display, so it's not HD screen, but it's got a great camera on it. It's got 16 gig of internal storage, and it runs on AT&T's LTE network. Note Windows Phone 8 is expected to be announced in the not too distant future, so if you're in the market for a Windows smartphone, you may want to wait for the new iOS. I'm not sure why they keep saying to wait for the new iOS, because you should be able to just upgrade your phone that you have now with 7.5 and upgrade it to 8. But I could be wrong, unless the phone's not going to be able to handle it. I don't know, I'll have to find that out once it gets closer to Apple or Microsoft announcing that. And it says it's available, U.S. availability and pricing. The HTC Titan 2 is an AT&T exclusive in the U.S. and is available for $199.99, so $200 with a new 2-year contract. I have a relative that has this phone and he loves it. He went from an iPhone to this phone, and he says he likes this way better. It's more like him, more future realistic. He likes Windows though, so I don't think it might be a Windows thing. But I don't know. It just seems like this phone is set up and designed way better than the iPhone currently. So maybe the new iPhone 5 will change that in the future, but we'll find out once it comes out. Alright, so let's go to the next one. We got the Samsung Galaxy Nexus. It's the first Nexus smartphone with Google Android 4.1 Jelly Bean. Jelly Bean isn't available on all models yet, though. Check out the full list of features in Jelly Bean here. This is where I was talking about. Jelly Bean's got that new Siri, the assistant on your phone, so you can give it some commands and it will respond with whatever you say, like set an appointment for 2 o'clock today for lunch with so and so, and Google will, or your new Jelly Bean operating system will respond to you. It will pop up on the screen, show you that your appointment's set for 2 p.m. And you're meeting so and so for lunch, and then it shows you on the calendar, and you can either say the words OK, or you can click OK on the screen to verify that it was correct of what you said, and it's set. And by doing that, then it's linked to your Google Calendar, so you can have it set up on a website, and other people can see your calendar if you have it set up that way. There's just a lot more features with the Android phone because it's hooked up with Google. So let's see. It's got the 4.1 Jelly Bean. It's got a curved HD contour 4.65-inch Super Almo LED display and a 5 megapixel digital camera. So it's supposed to be a really nice phone, it looks like. And it's got the 16 gig internal storage, and it's for both AT&T and T-Mobile networks. And it's available for $349.99 or $350. The LTE Galaxy Next 32 gig costs $99. I'm not sure why it's less for the same phone, but okay. It's $99, so it's $100. Oh, through Sprint, and it's on sale. It's only on sale for $149 through Verizon, both the new 2-year contracts. So from Sprint you can get it for $100. For Verizon you can get it for $150, and those are both for two new year contracts. And if you get it for AT&T or T-Mobile, it's $350 for the exact same phone, and that's for a 2-year contract as well. Alright, so we'll go to the next phone here. We got the HTC Evo 4G LET. So it's a 4G phone again. Runs on Sprint's speedy LTE network, and it's a large 4.7-inch screen. And it runs Ice Cream Sandwich 4.0, and it's packed with a 2,000 milliamp hour battery, an 8 megapixel camera, and a 1.5 gigahertz dual-core processor. Pretty good, and it's for Sprint exclusively in the U.S., and it's available for $199.99, so $200. New 2-year service agreement, which means 2-year contract again. Same thing. Alright, and we got the Sony Xperia Ion. Sony apparently is still making phones. I thought they kind of slowed down on making phones, but hey, here they are. So it looks like they got Android running on their on their phone also as their operating system. This is the first and only LTE smartphone from Verizon or from Sony. Okay, so that makes sense. Device has a 1.5 dual-core processor and a large 4.6 HD display. It's powered by Sony Brava engine technology, which they've had in their phones for years. It's got a 12 megapixel digital camera, and the price is right at just about $50, which is pretty good. That's for the Sony's online store. And that's with a new service contract. Unfortunately, the device's software isn't really match its hardware specs. The Ion still runs on Android 2.3 Gingerbread, not Ice Cream Sandwich 4.0 or Jelly Bean 4.1. Oh, so it's still a little bit behind, but that's alright. Maybe we'll send out an update for that. It's exclusively for AT&T for $99, or for $50, and you have to get a contract for at least $100 for 2 years. Alright. So then we got the HTC Droid Incredible 4G LTE. Here we go with the Droid again, but this is from HTC instead of Motorola. Overall, it's Android handhelds. Stands apart from the pack due to its relatively compact design. Its 4-inch QHD screen isn't too small though, and it runs Ice Cream Sandwich 4.0. The Droid Incredible 4G LTE also runs on Verizon's 4G network. It has a 1.2 dual-core processor and an 8 megapixel digital camera, and it's for Verizon exclusively. With the 8 gig version is also available for $150 with a new 2-year contract. And we've got the BlackBerry. Can't forget the BlackBerry here. They're still running on their own operating system currently. BlackBerry, I thought for a while, may have been going out, but it looks like they're still hanging on. They got a new touchscreen phone here. I've never seen this phone yet, so this is new to me. It's called the BlackBerry TK 3.0 Discovery. Why is it hot? Okay, so this device is not really a BlackBerry. It's a BlackBerry 10 concept device from Guy Bridges of digitalhomeboy.ca. I wanted to include an actual RIM device in this roundup, but unfortunately the company delayed the release of this next generation BlackBerry 10 OS until early 2012, and none of RIM's in-market BlackBerries are participating hot. Still, if RIM's first BlackBerry 10 handheld looks anything like this, the delayed launch may prove to be a non-issue. Huh. So this phone's not out yet, it's just like a prototype. That's why I've never seen this phone before until just now. Alright, so it says US availability and pricing, never. This is just a concept rendering of a really cool looking smartphone. Okay, well, it may look kind of cool, but I wonder how the operating system was going to run. Because the RIM operating system of BlackBerry seems to run pretty good on their tablets. But when you throw in when people want to talk and text, I don't know how that's going to all work out. So, good luck to BlackBerry. And I hope you enjoyed all these different smartphones for the summer of 2012, the 12 hottest handheld smartphones. Alright, have a great day. Don't forget to subscribe and thumbs up and drop any comments. And I'll see you next time.